John Vargas has spent more than 40 years in water polo as a player and coach. He has found success at every level. A star at Los Altos High School before heading to UC Irvine, Vargas helped the Anteaters to a title in 1982 and twice earned All-American honors. As his playing career continued to flourish, Vargas embarked on a lengthy coaching journey starting at Corona Del Mar High School. While coaching at CDM and winning titles for the Newport Water Polo Foundation, Vargas set his sights on the Olympics. The final cut for the 1988 Olympic team, he remained determined, helping Team USA to a FINA World Cup crown in 1991 before breaking through on the Olympic stage in '92. From there, coaching took top priority as Vargas joined the USA staff ahead of the '96 games, earning the top job a year later. He led the U.S. to another World Cup crown en route to a 6th place mark at the Sydney Games in 2000. In the meantime, Vargas finished up a stellar run at CDM, winning 7 CIF titles before heading to Stanford to guide the men's program. He won NCAA titles in his first season and again in 2019, coaching a host of Olympians and All-Americans along the way. He retired after the 2021 season with 389 career victories.
The scouting report on John Vargas was just keep an eye on him at all times. Never assume that what he's looking at is what he's aware of and thinking about doing. He's the most deceptive, brilliant player I've probably ever watched. I mean, one story, we were playing in Eger, and right after winning that World Cup in '91 in Spain, we were playing Yugoslavia maybe, penalty shot was called, and Vargas had disappeared underwater. Sure enough, Wilson blocked it. Vargas popped up at the 4-meter line at the opposite side, got the ball, and yeah, I mean, most amazing thing that he would just come up with that on the fly. And it was just, that was typical of him. There are always 1,000 things on his mind that he was sorting through and coming up with absolutely the best decision.
You know, John was a national level player himself. He's an Olympian. He played in 1992. So just having that understanding that he knows what we're going through, you know, going to the Olympics and playing at that high level. He has that perception as an athlete, you know, having that confidence that the coach on the deck actually translated to the athletes in the water. So that's something for me that was very noticeable, is just having that confidence. And it was different playing for him in the 2000 Olympics, because I wasn't a high school kid anymore. He, you know, treated me more as a professional and as an adult, which was a little bit strange to begin with at first, but you know, it was more of a collaboration between athlete and coach and team and all that stuff. So the confidence that you know, I personally had with him leading us was fantastic.
There's no one that puts more of himself into what he's doing than him. You know, you can see it come out of his veins and everything when and it's, you know, I think people take that as intensity. For sure he's intense, you know, but it's more passionate. He believes in you and the athletes that he's committed to.
He pushed me really hard to become a leader of a team. Every day, you know, we talk about, you know, methods of leading, how you can lead different guys, and I think that's one of the most important lessons he taught me is how you lead different people. You can't have a blanket philosophy on how you lead different people, and that was something, you know, we talked about often, and he helped me a lot with. You know, he's always bringing in, you know, people into the meeting room, past players who are now working, to help advice on career after water polo. He's always trying to make you think outside the box, not just, hey, 4 years of water polo, you come to the pool every day and you're done. He's always trying to make you think about, you know, what's next, how can you prepare yourself better.
The sheer impact he's had on our national team still continues, even though he's out of Stanford. You know, I would hope people can see the body of work that he's put in, from a high school coach to working with the national team to coaching in the Olympics, but still developing players to this day for our national teams.
As a coach, what do you want? Yeah, you want to win, but ultimately you want your athletes to succeed, right? Hey, at the end of the day, I know that my job is to win, but if all of my athletes are succeeding in life, I'm happier than if I had that championship. And what he brought on a daily basis was, we're going to succeed in life. And that's why he's loved by all of his athletes, because of that. That's the motto. And look how many Olympians, and successful Olympians, Olympians with silver medals, Olympians that have stayed multiple years because they love the sport. And that came from John.
I mean, him being an Olympic coach himself, It's an honor to be among the names. Tony, Lane, all the Olympians, Bobo, Brett, all the great players that came through Stanford. It's an honor to have my names up to theirs, and it's a testament to Coach Vargas and his ability to attract talent to Stanford.
I miss the times at Stanford that John and I used to just sit in his office and watch video and talk water polo and talk about the players and talk about how we can motivate them. The other thing I miss is the workouts we used to do. And it's funny because we always had to do pull-ups because that was John's way of basically saying, like, I still got it. I still got it. That was his way of beating us. But you definitely were going to have a competition when you were working out with John. It was the best time.
As easy as people think it is to be at a Stanford or UCLA or Cal or USC, it's hard. The expectations are different. And so he had that at CDM. Then you go to the national team and the expectations are pretty clear there. And then you go to Stanford. And that's 40 years of a high standard. And for him to do it at that level for that long, it is pretty incredible.
He just had a really good process for how he would plan a season. What was happening that day was based on how it would fit with what was going to happen next week, next month, at the end of the season, and even a season out. So his preparation and planning were meticulous.
It means so much that he asked me to speak about him, and he did so much for me. He's done so much for the Stanford water polo program and water polo in general, so no one deserves it more.